Good morning to all of you. On behalf of the management, staff, and students of Autonomous Eluru, I take this privilege auspicious occasion of this national seminar on research developments for sustainability of ecosystems, coral reefs, the paradise underwater. It's my honor to welcome the chairperson of this seminar, Dr. Sister Marietta Di Mello, principal of our college. A hearty welcome to you, sister. I am honored and delighted to welcome our correspondent, Dr. Sister Marietta Pudota, and our vice principal, director of courses, coordinator Rusa, Dr. Sister Shaurilu. A pleasant welcome to you, dear sister. I take the opportunity to invite the esteemed guest of this seminar, Dr. C.H. Sachinarayana, Scientist D, Coral Taxonomist from Zoological Survey of Chennai. A cordial welcome to you, sir. I am pleased to welcome Dr. R. Indira, convener of this seminar, an amiable welcome who are known for their commitment. A gracious welcome to you all. Loving welcome to all our dear students who are known for their discipline, love, and affection. Though our institution needs no introduction, I feel it necessary to provide a brief introduction to our great institution and our Department of Zoology. Ch.S.D.St.Theresa's College was founded in 1953 of Providence, Secunderabad. The college was affiliated to Andhra University, which to the degree section ranking and also recognized by IAC. The college is currently to Adikavi Namia University reception. The department has striven hard to create an interest and a zeal for the animal world among the stakeholders.
మిస్ చెప్పండి మిస్ ఛీ. మిస్ మీ 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 ఇది ఉందా మీ హాట్స్పాట్ ఉందా మిస్ అక్కడ మీ హాట్స్పాట్ ఉందా ఆ హాట్స్పాట్లో ఒకసారి ట్రై చేయండి మిస్ ఒక్కసారి చేయండి
మేడం ఏమి మీరు మాట్లాడేది వినపట్లేదే. ఓకే, నేను ఇది స్టాప్ షేర్ చేసి మళ్ళీ షేర్ చేయనా? ఎందుకంటే ఒకవేళ ఇది షేరింగ్ ఒకసారి మళ్ళీ రిపీట్ చేస్తే బాగా వస్తుందేమో.
Yes. Sorry for the inconvenience caused. In its attempt to broad base and diversify the learning by students, the department has been associating with the local government and private bodies like District Animal Husbandry Department, District Animal Welfare Society, Andhra Pradesh Pollution Control Board, Sericulture Department, State Fisheries Department, DMHO, Government Headquarters Hospital, Ashram Medical College, and many other private hospitals. Many health camps were conducted in association with Ashram Medical College. The department organized various workshops, national and international seminars. The department has the privilege of getting involved with government agencies in extending their services to the society by taking part in Swachh Bharat, Swachh Sarvekshan, Kishore Vikasam programs. The department is involved in various community development programs. The department is encouraging the students to take up skill based training programs. The success of all these activities is because of the constant support of our management. So, we take pride in organizing this national seminar. This seminar aims at providing a platform to sensitize every possible member of the society towards ecological sustainability, which includes everything that is connected with the Earth's ecosystems. Sustainability improves the quality of our lives, protects our ecosystem, and preserves natural resources for our future generations. In this area, research is going on. This seminar particularly aims at the activities undertaken for the sustainability of corals. Eminent scientists are working in this area. We are fortunate enough to have such an eminent scientist with us. This enriching program will enlarge awareness among all of us. Let us commence the program with prayer. When we pray, God hears more than we say, answers more than we ask, gives more than we imagine in His own time. I request you all to join me to thank God for showering His blessings on this institution. His unseen presence in this campus is the key to successive years of excellence. To lead us in prayer, I invite Sister Lavanya from First BSc BZC.
ఏమౌన్ అవ్వట్లేదు. అక్కడ స్టెబిలైజర్ ఉంది కదా.
Scripture reading, a reading from the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verses 20 to 22. God said, "Let the waters bring forth swarms of living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth across the dome of the sky." So God created the great sea monsters and every living creature that moves, of every kind with which the waters swarm, and every winged bird of every kind. And God saw that it was good. And God blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters in the seas, and let birds multiply on the earth." The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. God of heaven and earth, we praise you for the beauty of creation and all the living creatures in it. Thank you, Lord, for breathing your life into our bodies. Today, in a special way, we ask you to bless our management sisters, faculty, Department of Zoology, and all the participants and all who are working behind the program. Lord, as we are deeply studying about the ocean and the creatures in it, thus everything may live freely and enjoy the life you have given. Let us do our daily prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever.
Thank you, sister, for invoking God's presence. Now, I request the convener of this national seminar, Dr. R. Indira, head of the Department of Zoology, to present the theme of the seminar.
Good morning, sir. Good morning to all our participants. This this national seminar aims at research developments for sustainable development of ecosystems. Sustainable development is a pattern of resource use that aims to meet human needs while preserving the environment so that these needs can be met not only in the present but also for generations to come. Environmental protection contributes to protection and enhances our natural environment. While helping to improve biodiversity, use natural resources wisely, minimizing waste and pollution, and adapting to and helping to decrease climate change, including a global shift to low carbon economy. Five major changes in the over the past several decades identified. These include the expansion of the primary goal from understanding nature to include human activities, the broadening of the research focus from single ecosystem types to macro ecosystems, then the shifting of research methods from small scale observations and experiments to large scale observations, network experiments, and model simulations. The increasing attention to comprehensive integration of ecosystem components, processes, and scales, and the focus on integrated multidisciplinary scientific field. While ecosystem science faces many challenges in the future, these directional changes, along with the rapidly enriched research tools and data acquisition capabilities, lay a promising ground as a fundamental scientific basis for solving many environmental challenges. Among all the ecosystems, marine ecosystem, its biodiversity is severely affected. Coral reefs worldwide are declining at an accelerating rate due to multiple types of human impacts. Meanwhile, new technologies with applications in reef science and conservation are emerging at an ever faster rate. Present and future technological innovations to help solve the global coral reef crisis. Today, we are so fortunate to have in our midst eminent resource person Dr. C.H. Satyanarayana Garu from Geological Survey of India, Chennai, to discuss about protection of coral reefs, the paradise underwater. Now, I invite Dr. K.S. Madhvirani, Senior Lecturer in the Department of Zoology, to introduce our resource person to our participants. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, madam. As Henry says, patience, persistence, and perspiration make an unbeatable combination for success. These words are true to our esteemed guest, Dr. C.H. Scientist D from Ch.S.D.St.Theresa, Chennai. It's my privilege to introduce to all of you. Dr. Satyanarayana is a scleractinian coral taxonomist with over 31 years of experience in handling scientific biodiversity studies, outreach programs, EIA studies, and wildlife conservation activities. At present, he is a scientist D in Zoological Survey of India, Marine Biology Regional Center at Chennai. He completed his graduation in Chennai and post-graduation in Andhra University, Valtair. He received MPhil and PhD from Andhra University. He was trained at Andamans and Australia in the area of coral taxonomy. He is an expert in scuba diving. He has undergone training in different areas related to reef research. He gained expertise in rare study areas related to reef research like coral spawning, reef restoration through mineral accretion, biotope identification for reef management. He thoroughly surveyed all major reef regions in India and all patch reefs along the east and west coast of India. The areas include Gulf of Mannar, Biosphere Reserve, Park Bay, Andamans, Gulf of Kutch, Lakshadweep Islands. He has a great shipboard experience. He participated in several departmental, national, and international expeditions organized by ZSI, UNDP, GSI, and so on. To his credit, he published 13 books, 41 research papers, and developed e-content and 2 training modules for International Ocean Institute. He attended and organized many national and international conferences and symposia far and wide. He participated in the organization of a national workshop on coral reef management and conservation in India in 2020. Creating awareness on coral reefs among general public, researchers, students, policymakers, etc., and was acclaimed and certified as a good teacher by the organizers and participants in majority of the instances. Till now, he trained about 300 reef managers and researchers. In addition to this, he functioned as a coordinator for 2 international training programs on coastal zone management organized by International Ocean Institute at Chennai. He was instrumental in bringing up a closed system marine aquarium at Marine Biological Station Chennai, which evoked good public response. He was selected as a coordinator for International Ocean Institute of Matla Operational Center at IIT Chennai. He excelled in the Global Coral Reef Monitoring Network South Asia Training Workshop on Identification of Indian Ocean Coral Genera at Andamans. He completed a PADI Master Scuba Diver course with specialty in equipment maintenance, peak performance, buoyancy, underwater navigation, rescue diving, etc., which was acclaimed as an outstanding achievement by the Senior Vice President. At Gulf of Kutch, he successfully restored locally extinct branching corals which disappeared thousands of years ago. It is first of its kind successful achievement in the world. An innovative way of restoration of corals using electricity is also done for the first time in India in the Gulf of Kutch Marine National Park, Gujarat in January 2020. He delivered a TED talk on innovative restoration achievement. He adjudicated few research theses, PhD and MPhil, and research projects. He co-authored the first book on hard corals in India entitled Handbook on Hard Corals of India and first book on restoration of threatened coral reefs at Gulf of Kutch, published by the Director, Zoological Survey of India. Hard corals of Gulf of Kutch
Hard
and
corals
remote sensing studies on
and
Andaman
remote sensing
Islands.
Andaman Islands.
He prepared an
He
interactive
prepared an interactive
CD
CD
on
on
corals
corals
of
of
India.
India with the probability-based software developed by IASC Bangalore and prepared an interactive CD on hard
With which even amateurs can identify corals. Hope you have understood the principle of what he has been doing.
hope you have understood the quantum of work he has been doing. Just imagine. We are thankful to you, sir, and our participants. Sir, will you please
Yes,
start
madam.
your session?
Yeah, I'm ready. So you can hear me, right? When you are not hearing me, please let me know.
Okay, sir.
Can you see my presentation now? Madam, can you see my presentation? Mr. Thomas?
Sir, didn't come, sir.
Presentation
Didn't come, sir.
No,
Okay.
sir. No, sir.
It's okay, sir. Okay, it is coming, sir.
It's coming now,
It
isn't
is
it?
coming, sir. It is coming, sir.
I'll try to go into the slide mode, just see whether you could able to see that.
Yeah, now it is okay. Go to next slide. Now it's okay, sir. Okay, very good, sir. You can continue,
Good,
sir.
thank you.
Right.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, my dear respected principal madam, um, Indra madam, other delegates, and my dear friend, my MSc classmate, and our gold medalist during our time. He is a gold medalist in our batch, Madhav Garu, other respected delegates, and my dear young friends. So, Madhav Garu has told everything about me. I think I need not introduce myself again. But and in the beginning itself, she showed that perseverance, patience will give us dividend. So we have some issue with the network, and we are facing it. But ultimately,
ఇది
how we can achieve
ఇది
is
ఇచ్చిన లింక్.
only through that. I'll be telling you how I faced difficulties and ultimately how I became number one, not only in coral reef field, but also in bringing back the corals which have become extinct 10,000 years back. Okay, friends. So, out of the affection she has on me, she has read everything to you. But I don't know how many of you could able to grasp it. I'll make it very simple now.
మీ
I'm a
ఇదేంటండి,
scientist from Zoological Survey of India,
ఫోన్ నెంబర్
and
చెప్పండి.
I have decided that I should make
నెంబర్
something
చెప్పండి.
which achievable, which nobody could
సిక్స్
able to
నైన్
do, so that I can be remembered.
89
I can be remembered
69
forever. That is why I have chosen this field, because coral reef studies are not so easy as far as the people are concerned. There are very few scientists working in the world. So I have chosen this difficult field. So ultimately, now I am number one in India now. And what I have done is, and very one among the few in the world. So basically, since I am from Zoological Survey of India, my main job is to actually inventorize, identify the corals. So after identification, we publish books. So I have published the first book on hard corals of India and first book on Gulf of Kutch. Then I have dived in all the major and minor reef regions in our country and the major reef regions
యూట్యూబ్ ఉంది
outside
మిస్,
the
దాంట్లో
country.
చూడండి.
Great Barrier Reef, Australia is the largest reef in the world, and the reefs of Indonesia are the most diverse. I have dived in Indonesia, I have dived in uh, uh, Australia, I have dived in UK, I have dived in Japan. So I'm here to share my experiences with you. Okay, in fact, I came and delivered lectures in your college. I always love to do that than doing in many other places. I have done it nationally and internationally, but I always have some soft corner for St. Theresa College. And in fact, I came directly twice. And this is the virtual, in virtual mode, we are again trying to interact. Why I'm saying that I have some soft corner is the main resource are you. Okay, see now, today I'm here to speak about the ecosystems, but I have another hidden agenda also in this. Why I'm interested to speak to you. See, because once Indra madam has told me, I was ready, but unfortunately I fell sick, and after many days, again I'm joining now. But I just wanted to, I don't want to miss this, and I wanted to share all this with you because I told you I have a hidden agenda. So please be attentive and try to know what hidden agenda I have. I'll just reveal it shortly. So basically, you can see here I'm doing environmental impact assessment. I train people above the water and under the water also. I'm a master scuba diver, got in Australia. I got this. And we have done something very unique in the world as well as in India also for the first time. First time we have again revived a species which have become extinct locally in Gulf of Kutch, and that is one of its kind effort in the world. And we have again done something unique to grow coral reefs very fast, which are threatened, and that is also first of its kind in India. This is the one which I am going to speak about. And SCD also are prepared for people to learn easily taxonomy because there are very few people who are learning taxonomy because of the difficulties in identifying. We identify corals with the help of skeleton. Okay, so now we will proceed with this. So I am from Zoological Survey of India. Zoological Survey of India is actually started by Britishers in 1916. That means our institution is more than 100 years old. And since they have started in India, the British have started in India. They started it in Calcutta because this is the place where they annexed first. And from there, we have got 16 regional centers now. So our main objective is to inventorize, identify from starting from microscopic protozoa to bigger mammals. Okay, so what they have done in India, they first started centers in the north, south, east, west, and central region to cover different areas. And later they started started some ecosystem-based centers. And our center, Marine Biology Regional Center here, and our juice is to cover the whole of marine environment. And there are many freshwater bodies. So in Andhra also, in Hyderabad, of course now it is Telangana. In Hyderabad we have stations since there are many rivers in this region. And estuaries are more in Gopalpur, that means Orissa. So there is one in Gopalpur here. And we have desert reason because all these ecosystems, freshwater, marine, desert, they all have different kinds of animals. And our main duty is to inventorize. Okay, so I call it as a great institution in which I'm trained now. So I am asked to now speak about research developments for sustainability of ecosystem, coral reefs, the paradise plant. Friends, if there are no ecosystems, there is no nature, we are not there. So it's very, very important that we should sustain. We are speaking of sustainability now, but already they started degrading. So first thing is we have to conserve them. And I told you the main motto of me coming here is to tell you. Now I am revealing it to tell you that how important you are as women force. As women force, I am telling you, you are more powerful than anybody else. So I am now just trying to tell you that Maguva, లోకానికి తెలుసా నీ విలువ కాదు మగువ నీ విలువ నీకు తెలుసా. This is my hidden agenda. I just wanted to tell you now, if at all we have to do something for the coral reefs or for that matter any ecosystems and even for our own existence, you are all more important. That is the reason why I always say that St.Theresa Women's College is close to my heart and I always love to deliver lectures here. Why I am telling this is the underwater world. I don't know how many of you know swimming, but you see, underwater world is a domain for women. Most of the researchers in the world and the underwater world are women only. So you can see here, this is my picture, and by the side of me is great Dr. Carden Wallace. She is a world-renowned coral taxonomist working on branching. So most of them, almost 70 to 80% of the coral researchers are women only. Okay, and one more thing I just wanted to tell. The one who is there in this picture is our director now. After 100 years, we got only one women director, that is Dr. Preeti Banerjee. You can see here they have written clearly that women on top. You can achieve anything. Okay, tomorrow is the International Day of Women and Girls in Science. So there is lot of things you can do. United Nations has recognized that you can do more than others can do. In fact, I also totally agree that you can achieve anything and you can do lot of. That's the reason why I'm asking to be more attentive. We may face many hitches, many problems, but once you get many problems and hitches, only you become more stronger and stronger. I have really had a lot of difficulties in achieving things, but whenever I get a hurdle, I get even more stronger and more harder. I work very harder and then try to achieve. Okay, so please be attentive. So I really appreciate the organizers because they started it in the right time. You can see here all the ecosystems are degrading. So United Nations has recognized this decade starting from 2021 to 2030 as a decade of ecosystem restoration. Not only that, it rarely comes. There are another decade also, one more decade also announced at the same time, 2021, this year, starting from now onwards to another 10 years. It is the United Nations decade of ocean science for sustainability. So please remember these 2 decades. At the same time, the day of women for science. Okay, so let us proceed with this. It's very, very important, not only for the nature, but also for the existence of human beings. You are very important for that. Why that is required is we ourselves are degrading the ecosystem. You can see here Gilbert Reeves, the Canadian French astrophysicist, what he said is, man is the most insane species. He worships an invisible God and destroys the visible nature. Unaware that this nature he is destroying is this God he is worshipping. That is true. I think most of you will also agree to this statement. Really, we are not understanding what we are talking to the nature. We are the pet child of the nature, but unfortunately, we are responsible, mostly responsible for destroying the nature. Don't take it lightly, friends. Really, the judgment day has already started. The sixth mass extinction has already started. That means the species are vanishing very fast, starting from 1 to at least 100 species in an hour are getting extinct. So the extinct rate is about 1,000 times faster. So there are 5 mass extinctions in the past, and all these mass extinctions, after the Earth actually came into existence, the life started only Earth existed 4,600 million years back. It came into existence, and after that, the life came into existence. The higher invertebrates came into existence only 500 million years ago, 500 million years. And after that, there are 5 mass extinctions. In all these extinctions, majority of the species have gone, and the most evolved one has started coming. So now we are the most evolved one, remember. So there is a threat to all of us. When I told this in 2017, when I was delivering the TED talk, you can see that people are laughing at me. Now that is coming a reality. We are hiding. We are only speaking to each other virtually. We are not sharing, not even giving, shaking hands with others also, giving hands to others also. So you may take it lightly, but remember the last mass extinction here 65 million years ago, the mighty dinosaurs totally vanished. They are no more mighty and not even a single one is existing. So if you are not careful, we will be in trouble. So please be attentive and listen to this. I'm not going to tell you a lecture. Don't think that, don't consider this as a lecture. I always love to actually tell stories. Okay. So I'm going to tell you a story of Paradise Lost. In that paradise, we have a hero, heroine, and a villain. I will tell you who the hero, heroine are, and you have to tell me who is the villain. Okay. Before starting the lecture, madam, how much time do you have? At what time do you want me to close this? Please tell me so that based on that I will face my lecture. Hello? Can anybody respond whether you could able to hear? Hello?
Hello, sir.
Madam,
Hello, sir.
yeah, can you hear me?
At 11:50, up to 11:50, we can proceed, sir.
Okay, madam. And after that, can we have some session for asking questions?
Yes. Yes. Okay.
Is that fine? Or you want me to, even for the session also, we should close the country?
Okay. Okay, sir.
Because we have a lot of information to share, so you please make it very clear to me at what time I have to close, so that based on that I can face my lecture.
Okay.
Okay. Okay then. So I'm going to tell you a story, right? The story starts now. So I always love to show this slide. Really, you please be attentive. With due apologies to modesty, I don't hesitate to say that the kind of expertise I have very few have this kind of an expertise. So please be attentive, make best use of my presence here, and ask me some questions. I'll be very happy if you ask me some questions. So you pay attention the way you are paying to the your most loved ones, whether it's your brother or sister or mother or father, whoever it is. Same kind of an attention I just wanted to see here. You just see like these cats which are looking at, and I assure you that I'll be giving you information which you have not got so far. Okay, so please be attentive. Why we have to be attentive is, how many of you have really seen a coral? So usually in the direct mode, I usually talk to the people, ask them to raise their hand, but now we are unable to do that. So I'm sure that very few of you must have seen a coral. And these corals form mountains underwater, mountains, bigger than the mountains which we see outside. So those mountains are called as coral reefs. And I'm sorry for using this strong word, but I have to use this. We are all unfortunately innocent murderers. We are responsible for the death of this beautiful coral. And many species are disappearing fast, and we are actually putting ourselves and our generations in danger. So I think this is enough for you to understand how why we should be attentive about this lecture, how we should be attentive and how we should save coral reefs. Even though you are not close to the coral reefs, you are responsible for the death of the coral. That is why I called it as innocent murder. We are all responsible for global warming, and global warming is killing coral. So even though you are away in Yeluru where there is no sea at all, or in some other place where you are not at all seeing coral, but you are also responsible for the death of coral because many corals are dying because of global warming. Okay, so we have a role to play, and we have a responsibility to take care of these ecosystems. So this clearly shows this prediction was actually he has told this in 2001, but unfortunately he said 2050 coral reefs are going to die. But I would like to say that they are going to vanish even before that. Maybe by 2040 or even early to that. That is what I am seeing when I am dying underwater.
సింధు ట్రావెల్స్ ఉంది కదా
Okay.
కోట సెంటర్ దగ్గర.
So threats to coral reefs, if you look to Google and then see, there will be a lot of information available in the internet. And
వాళ్ళ
you
దగ్గరికి
can
ఎందుకు
see here
రావటం
these are
బాబు,
corals.
డేంజర్
They are
టైంలో.
appearing like plants. Many of them thinking that they are plants. Even though we have not seen, very little about these coral reefs, we are responsible for the death of them. Okay, so awareness is very important. That's the reason why I wanted you also to play a major role. I'm making it very simple. First, I will introduce you to the corals. Then I will tell you about coral reefs and its rich associated diversity. Then I will introduce you to the different reef regions in our country. And ZSI, I said that my great institution. We have got, because we have got the largest scientific diving team in India, and we have dived in all the major regions and then done many notable studies in all these reef regions. And we have suggested some effective conservation measures. I will share them with you. And after that, we have done something innovative for a sustainable world version. So we have brought corals which have become extinct 10,000 years back. We have used some technology, one technology which makes corals grow very fast. Corals grow very slowly. On an average, they grow only 1.5 centimeters in this size. So imagine how much time it requires for a coral to grow this size. And we have used some technology where it accelerates. You can grow corals 6 times or 20 times faster than they actually grow. That also we have done in India. And right now, my people are underwater. About 15 people are underwater in Gulf of Kutch. They are translocating corals from one place to another. They are trying to save lot of corals. That is also again one of the largest restoration efforts in in the world. We are translocating largest translocation effort. We are translocating more than 20,000 corals from one place to another. I'll speak about them little later. So our story starts now. I have some videos, but unfortunately there is some issue with the uh, presentation. I'll try to run the video. We'll just see. If it's not working out, I'll share the links. You can see them later. In fact, we have very limited time also. Uh, I have a lot of information to share with you. So let us proceed with the information. The hero. Who is the hero of our story? You can see here this polyp, coral polyp. Can you see here? The beautiful polyp with a cylindrical body. It has got tentacles here. That's all. Corals are very primitive. I think you all know about the evolution as zoology students. First came the single-celled animals, protozoa. Then all the cells came together and formed sponges, which have only cellular organization. There are no organs, no tissue, nothing. Then from this group onwards, the Nidaria or Ciliatrata onwards, the tissue started forming. Then slowly guts started coming, earthworms came, then for easy mobility, the arthropods. Then the evolution took like that. Slowly the organs started forming inside the body. And finally, after the invertebrates came the vertebrates. And within the vertebrates, first fishes, then came amphibians, then birds and reptiles, and finally mammals. And after that only we have. So these are very, very primitive animals. You can see here. So they have only a cylindrical body, a mouth. The food goes inside through this and again comes out through this after diving. That's all. They have these tentacles to catch small prey. So this is our hero, beautiful hero, who is only few in size. And these corals with other calcium secreting plants and animals, they form mountains underwater. You can see here, this is a hard coral, this, this is a soft coral, then you have another sponge here. Like that, all the calcium secreting plants and animals come together and form mountains underwater, and they are called as, I nicknamed this tiny polyps, coral polyps as Chota Bahubali. Why Chota Bahubali means small Bahubali means mighty ones means they have because they have the largest distinction of constructing any the largest construction by any living organism on earth. If you take human beings, the largest construction by human beings is Great Wall of China, which can be seen from this space. In Australia, these tiny animals over millions of years formed a longer chain of mountains underwater, and that is called a Great Barrier Reef. So these are powerful than us, and these coral reefs, means the mountains formed by calcium secreting plants and animals underwater, are called as paradises underwater. Why they are called as paradises underwater? I'll just show you. I expected that in some places there will be internet connectivity problem. So now you can see here. This is how the coral reefs appear. Once you dive underwater, there is colorful and different animals in different shapes and sizes. They come and then roam around. I don't know whether a real paradise exists or not, but this is a real paradise underwater. Colorful animals. Because the coral reefs are very pristine, there the water is very clear, and there you don't find much physicochemical variations. Food is available also in plenty. So many finfishes and shellfishes, they go there to breed. They breed, and then so many of them will come into existence, and they will all be roaming around you once you dive underwater. Okay. So coming to my version, so there are some difficulties I faced. As I told you, coral diving is not at all dangerous, but it is adventurous. And most of the women are divers only. And in fact, women's body suits very well for diving. So when I went for diving, some problems I faced. So people ask me, why do you want to go again and again in spite of facing so many problems? My answer to them is, what I told them is, touching my heart, instead of living 100 years on earth, if you live 1 hour underwater, that is It's a real paradise underwater. And in fact, I don't know how many of you have seen the movie called Zindagi Na Milega Dubara. So you don't get a life again. So within this life, you must go underwater and see this beautiful thing. Without knowing swimming also, you can go and then see underwater. Even above the water, you can see without knowing swimming. That is in Gulf of Kutch, where the tidal amplitude is more. And underwater, like Andaman, everywhere, now the divers are so much trained that they will take you underwater even if you are not knowing. I have taken my wife underwater, and our whole family, four of us, took photographs underwater. So it's a real paradise underwater. I'll try to run the video. Just see if it is running well, then it is fine. Then we will, otherwise we'll leave it and I will share the link. You can see them. Okay, so underwater world is like this. If it is not coming well, please tell me. It's a beautiful movie made by McGillivray Freeman.
It is coming, sir.
Is it you would able to hear the voice, madam? Sound?
No, no, sir. Voice not.
Sound is not there, right?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, then I will start explaining. There is a beautiful music behind and direction also, but I think there is some issue with the voice. So I will just start explaining. So where I have freeze this frame, you can see this frame now. So you can see here, these are all hard coral. These are the coral reefs underwater. You can see how beautiful they are. So I'll show you other animals also. This is a honey coral. This one. Corals are of three types: hard corals, honey corals, and soft corals. The hard coral you have seen earlier because their skeleton is made up of calcium carbonate. These animals, what the polyps do is to protect themselves, they secrete calcium carbonate or some other compound. They secrete, and when any enemy try to eat it, immediately they go inside, they stuck inside the eye. So you have seen hard corals. Now this is a honey coral. It's called sea fan. You can bend it. And I don't know how many of you have the in jewelry the coral, pagadam, praval. That is all actually a product of this. If you take away the tissue, below this you have one particular species called Corallium rubra. So there you have this hard coral. And this is honey coral. That's a precious coral. And these are soft corals. Soft corals move. I'll show you another soft coral. You can see here this is a soft coral. Why it is soft is it has got more flesh and little skeleton. Okay. All the animals, they underwater are very friendly. They help each other and they help us also. I'll show you some of the examples now. You can see this is a soft coral, this is hard coral. So this is how the polyps will be when they are disturbed. Once the polyps get tucked in, this is how the coral appears like. When you go closer, these coral polyps appear like this. See how beautiful this is. And this is called as a mushroom coral. I need not tell you why it is called the mushroom coral. See, all these beautiful structures are made by coral. Millions and millions of coral polyps. They are the largest living structures built by tiny animals. When you go underwater, coral reefs are very important to us because even though they occupy only 1% of the Earth's surface, they contribute 25% of the fishery yield in the world. They are giving us protein because since the young ones what we need is roti, kapada or makan, something to eat, shelter, and then clothes. For them, the shelter and food is plentifully available. So all the fin fishes and shellfishes, they go there and then breed. You can see how many fishes are here like that. Once you go underwater, there will be plenty of them. So there will be many interesting animals like turtles. You can play with them. And you can see how they are helping each other. Corals, in fact, they help each other. So this is a giant clam. Giant clam. Can you know this bivalve? Called as. See, I told you, most of the researchers are women only. You can see in this video itself. And all of the animals are very friendly, except the sharks. You can see how they are helping each other here. It's a shrimp. It's a gobiard fish. So what this gobiard shrimp is doing is it's making a way for both, making a home for both of them. And what gobiard is doing is it is actually keeping a watch. If any enemy comes, immediately it will warn, and they both of them go inside the house. See how nicely they are helping each other. See a cleaner rest in the mouth. You can see a fish inside the mouth. It is cleaning its mouth. It will not swallow that. Both of them have an understanding. See, this is trying to clean here also. Not only they will help the animals, but also you see the divers. See, these cleaner shrimps, they are called as cleaner shrimps. What they are trying to do? They'll get into the mouth and try to clean. They take away the organic matter which is there in the mouth. So this is it, friends, so beautiful. That is why it is called as paradise underwater. Okay, I was worried that I may not show you this because of the less connectivity earlier, but at least if you have seen some of the glimpses, then it serves the purpose. Okay, so it's a real paradise underwater open for you. And women body suits very well for underwater work and diving. I was trained in Andamans and I was also trained in Australia, and both of my trainers were women only. Manavi Thakur here and Haley Brain in Australia. So you can do lot of things and you can really go and then enjoy underwater. So now I will introduce to some of the paradise builders. What are the things which are making the beautiful coral reef? The reef builders are, I told you, three types of corals are there: hard corals, honey corals, soft corals, and sponges, mollusks, calcareous algae. All these things also contribute. And the beauty to coral reefs is given by this reef association. Can you see here? This is a hard coral. This is a honey coral. It is called as a sea fan. and this is a soft coral. So all of them come together to fix calcium and form. Then you have sponges, acidic, all these things which are there. Okay, so I'll give you a glimpse of the underwater world now. Means the animals which live in the underwater. So some of the stony corals, we call them as stony coral. You can see here, this is called as a brain coral. I need not tell you why it is called as a brain coral. Brain coral, I think, it's almost like a brain. And within these valleys, you have many polyps. So it is not just one coral; it is a colony of animals. Okay, and this is a branching coral. This is a mushroom coral. And when you go closer, this is how they appear. So the polyp is within this, and skeleton, once they're tucked in like that, once they expand out, they have the cylindrical body and then the tentacles. Then these are velvet corals. Below the cursor, which I kept here, at least 50 animals will be there. So imagine how many millions of animals must have made this garden, beautiful garden. The moon coral, and when they in the night they usually try to feed, and when they extend like that, extend up, they will appear like this. Can you see how polyps are coming up? Then coming to soft corals. We have seen hard corals, soft corals. Can you see here? These structures which are there are only the skeleton. All the remaining portion which is there is fleshy only. That's why they are called as soft. Here it is very clear. The dark patches which are there, they are the skeleton. They are like needles. And the remaining portion is all flesh. That is why when you touch it, they appear soft. That's why they are called as soft corals. These are soft corals. Can you see here? You can see the polyps here. There are different kinds of whatever I'm showing is only a glimpse of them, not even 1% of them. So much of diversity and coming to honey coral. See, almost like a tree, isn't it? It is almost like a tree branch, but you just see on the very sorry, these are the polyps which are coming out. So over the skeleton, there will be a thin veneer of life, animals, and these are all the polyps which are there. Those they start replicating and then start growing. To remove this flesh, in the case of the Corallium rubrum, you get beautiful the skeleton, which is actually the precious coral, which we use for ornamental purpose. But only when they are live, they are beautiful. Okay, so don't go for this kind of precious things. And this is another soft coral. This is another honey coral. This is another honey coral. You can see the diversity in honey coral. Then mollusks also contribute to the to the formation of the reef. You have seen the tridacna in the video, the same tridacna. You may be wondering how these things contribute to the formation of the reef. You can see here, these are tridacna, the mollusks, which are there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you have hard corals here 1, 2, 3, 4. And in between, you have calcium secreting plants. All these things come together and form the reef. This is a small reef which is formed. And these are sponges. I'll give you a glimpse of the sponges. Calcareous sponges contribute to the formation of the reef. Others add to the beauty of the reef. And the real beauty is from coral. They have coral fishes, coral associated animals have a lot of value in the aquarium space. They are beautiful. So one pair of fishes costs more than 500 rupees like that. So you can see these are the things. It's a pair of male and female crabs which live in these beautiful houses made up of calcium carbonate. I don't know how they go and then come out. We try to open it, but it's not open. And you can see the coral. This one, I think most of you must have seen a movie called Finding Nemo. The clown fishes are very beautiful. They are in different shapes and sizes. They live in association with the sea anemones. And this is a batfish. To the coral association you take, this is the one called as Christmas tree worm. You have seen this in a movie. James Cameron has brought this onto the land in that movie. When you try to touch it, automatically it gets stuck in. It's a Christmas tree worm. It's called as Christmas tree worm. It's a polychaete. So in that movie, when the hero tries to touch one thing, immediately that goes inside. The same way, if you go underwater and try to touch it, immediately that goes stuck in. And this is an ascidian. And this is a This, you all must have seen this. You must have played with this also. Try to guess what it is. It is a cowrie which we play, with which we play. So this one, can you see how beautiful it is when it is alive? So animals or anything which is alive is beautiful. So kindly don't try to kill and then use them for playing. And this is a lobster. We have a nudibranch. And animals have their own strategies for protecting themselves. For example, if you see this one, it's a hermit crab. Can you see the hermit crab? Its body is very soft. So to protect itself, it actually gets tucked into a shell to catch the portion. When it becomes bigger, it goes for a bigger shell. That is how it protects itself. And this is another member like that. The puffer fish, when enemy tries to threaten it or try to eat it, immediately takes in air and bulges at least 4 or 5 times of its size. Once it becomes bigger, then immediately the enemy gets afraid and then runs away. In fact, it has got spines on its body. So those spines, by seeing spines, no fish will try to eat it. Then this is a sea star. If you cut it into two, you get two sea stars. They have autotomy, very nice autotomy. And feeding also, they don't take food inside their stomach onto the food outside, eject it, digest it, and take the fluid into the body. So every animal have its own strategy, but unfortunately, none of the animals are spared. Many of them are being eaten, including this beautiful sea turtle. These are acidians, Luan seeds, and I told you about the Christmas tree worm and a coral, then sea star, and this is sea lily. They are like plants. They appear like plants, but they move very fast and they swim very fast. This is again the clown fish, the sea anemone, another beautiful acidian, and this is a pair of clown fishes with the acidian below. They have a very mutualistic relationship. Actually, they when the fishes are here, no animal will try to come and then eat it because they have an nidoblast, this sea anemone. So it's giving shelter to it. And when fishes go and bring something and try to eat, those crumbs, this sea anemone also, which cannot move, also try to eat. So this is how they are mutually helping each other. And this is a stone. It's appearing like a stone, right? It's called a sea urchin. It moves, moving stone. It's a echinodon. And this is a triggerfish, sea star, sea anemone, like this. We have plenty of them underwater. They are not only adding to the beauty, but they provide us many direct and indirect values. So for example, if you take direct values, food, the fish which I told you, 1% of your surveys contribute to 25% of the fish yield. It's a good source of protein. And you have foraminiferans from the invertebrates, which give us the fuel. And there are many things like Tubipora musica, Gorgonians, from there medicines are extracted. And productive, if you take, we are getting shells, we are getting pearls, we are getting corals. And in fact, the calcium carbonate is used for painting walls and even for cement industry. Okay, so coral reefs are very, very important. That is why I said that we have to protect them to protect ourselves. Each and every inch of coral reefs are useful to us. Why they are useful, how they are useful, you can see here. Except the amphibians, you find all sorts of animals, represented of all sorts of animals in coral reefs. And they are the best breeding and nursery grounds. They get good food, and then environment is also very good. So they are the breeding and nursery grounds. They contribute to the food and fisheries. And the beauty, because of the beauty, many people go for diving. And in fact, many countries are totally dependent on, like the Maldives, Philippines, and in fact, Fiji and all these countries are totally dependent on reef tourism. And in fact, Australia is also getting a lot of revenue because of reef tourism. Then chemicals are being extracted from some animals, mainly the soft corals, and they protect our shore. They are the first line of defense. The tsunami is a big wave. When from the place where it is originated, its height was only a few feet because the depth is more. And once it starts traveling close to the depth reduces and the wave gains height. Okay. You must have seen the waves. Why waves are breaking is because the depth is shallow there. There is a resistance from the bottom. That is why waves are breaking. So the wave which is coming with an explosion of such a speed, once it comes closer to the shallow areas to the land, it gains height, and that is how tsunamis form, and then they strike us. So these coral reefs are the first line of defense. They will not allow the tsunami or the cyclones to come closer to the land where people are inhabited. So they are the first line of defense. They are for coastal protection. And all these fishes, animals which are there, they are all very beautiful. So there is a lot of demand for them in the ornamental trade. Okay. They are very important and rare resource. Why they are rare is the coral reefs are found only on both sides of the equator. On both sides of the equation means why they are found only on both sides of the equator. You can guess yourself why. Because corals require light. You may be wondering why corals require light because they are not plants. I'll tell you why they require light. But they are found only in the places where light is there. That is why they are found only on both sides of the equator. And they live within a narrow range of temperature, 25 to 30 degrees centigrade. And in colder waters like Antarctic, Antarctic, you don't find any reef forming corals. You find some corals, cold corals, but not reef forming corals. When the temperature goes below 18 degrees centigrade, you cannot have corals there. The salinity also within this range, 27 to 38 parts per thousand. That means they are not found in freshwater bodies. And they need places where good circulation and calm environment prevail. Okay. In a nutshell, they occupy only 1 to 2% of total air surface and gives us 25% of total fishery on which 65% of the world population is dependent. Then imagine how important our coral reefs are. Okay. So now, have I introduced you the hero? Now, heroine. Who is the heroine? Evolution. I told you about the evolution. The single-celled animals, only the cellular organization, tissued animals, then slowly the gut started forming, and you have the arthropods, then came the echinoderms, there and the invertebrates, then black bones. After that, the other animals came. So, Nidaria are the group first with the first tissue formation. They have only simple body structure, a cylindrical body with the tentacles on the top, with the mouth in the center. That is why they cannot move. They are attached to the bottom. Since they are attached to the bottom, they will have food. To get food, they allowed from plants to live in their tissues. You can see here, this is the polyp of the coral.
ఇది అయిపోద్ది మిస్ ఇప్పుడు.
So when it
అదేలే.
allows these plants, zooxanthellae, to live in their tissues for a symbiotic relationship. Why they allow them is the plants, like any other plants, trap solar energy and produce food and give 80% of the food produced to us. So whatever they are getting is very, very less in the form of animals which they are catching. So much of the component is actually from the zooxanthellae. You can see here this brownish portion which you are seeing are all zooxanthellae. Okay. So they give food and color to the coral is also given by zooxanthellae. They are not there. They are only transparent, translucent kind of animals. So this is a reason why they give food and then color to them. And in return, what they are getting it is a symbiotic relationship. They are getting shelter because no other animal dares to come and then eat the plants. And at the same time, the waste product which is available there is the nutrient for the plant. So you can see here, this is how the zooxanthellae live in the tissues of the coral. So this is how they trap solar energy and then produce food and convert their food to the so This is how they are, both of them are mutually supportive and helping each other. This is a historic association. So I call it as the first love story on earth because it's 250 million years old. Now, the villain. You can find out the villain. I think most of you have already have the answers with you. So corals and other reef animals together, they are giving us a lot of things. In fact, coral reefs are giving us a lot of produce. But what we are doing is, you see, they are going and dragging this net. They grow only 1.5 centimeters in a year. Imagine within 1 hour how many corals they dragged and then killed. Supportive and helping each other. Yeah. This is a historic. So we are going for, since they are giving us fish, we are going for overfishing. First love story. They are having colorful fishes, we are going for destructive fishing, poison fishing, cyanide fishing. Then to collect fishes, we are using glass fishing. We are polluting the environment when we are going for tourism, sedimenting the whole area. Controlled tourism is very dangerous for them. Then coastal development is also increasing, and the ornament trade is also happening by taking away the coral. So like this, we are doing all sorts of wrong things, putting these corals into trouble. You can see here that what this man is doing is he's putting some cyanide here to narcotize the fish. Once they become unconscious and come up, he will tell them. Later they die anyway, but he gets the money. But the cyanide remains in the water and kills all this. Polluting the environment when we are going for tourism. Then coming to this slide, it is called a blast fishing. Okay. Why it is called as blast fishing? What this man is doing is he is throwing a dynamite into the water. What happens when you throw a dynamite? There will be a big blast because of this sound. Keeler fishes have the air bladder within, which they use for balancing. The air bladder gets burst because of the sound. Once that is gone, they cannot manage themselves. They all will come to the surface. These people catch them and later they die anyway. See here, this man is interested to go, seeing the movie, maybe seeing the movie Jindagi Na Milega Dobara, but he doesn't know swimming, so he started watching and the chorus killing each other. This is also very bad. Then you can see here, this is the propeller moving dangerously on earth on coral reefs. Just because people have gone for tourism. Like this, we have all kinds of wrong things. And if you look at these important funnel components, you have seahorse. So beautiful. They almost look like seahorses. Then hermit crab, otherwise called as coconut crab, because it climb onto the coconut trees and then steals the coconut. That and even the goat fishes. Then look here, the beautiful mermaids. They're called as sea cow. Only after seeing these animals, which are mammals, people started writing about the mermaids. There are only few thousands in the world. Few thousands, not even 5 to 6,000. So there are very few. In another country, we have some numbers. And the most important thing is they are all vegetarian. They don't like any. They don't eat fishes or anything. They feed only on sea grass. Sea turtles, when you are sea searching, sea cucumbers, sea cucumbers almost look like cucumbers, but they are all eaten. The seafoods are eaten, sea urchins are eaten, octopus is also beautiful, octopus is also eaten. Then coming to the natural cow, they are causing a lot of damage to coral. In fact, the largest threat to coral reefs is global warming only. This was accelerated by us, and because of global warming, once the water heated up or it goes cooled down, and the coral is under stress, the first thing it will do is it will expel out all the zoo samples. So imagine if all the zoo samples go to water, they will not get food, and at the same time they die. They become white and then die. Coral diseases also now cropping up. Coral diseases, once the corals becoming weak and weak because of the global warming, they get disease. This is a beautiful chronophone star. So beautiful. That it likes to feed on corals. So sometimes it come in bloom proportion and eat away others. And you can see here, this is a called as bleaching. If you Google and see, there's a lot of bleaching happening. Once it happens, only once in 25 years, 30 years like that. But now almost every year, this bleaching is killing a lot of coral. Bleaching means at or cold temperature, corals, they expel out the zooxanthellae, become white. That is called as coral. And in addition to that, we have tropical cyclones, and recent addition is so this is the symbiotic relation which I have shown you. This is actually breaking up and it will create problems. So you can see here, this portion is bleached and this portion is okay, fine. The corals bleach like this and they become pale and white and die when there is an elevated temperature or decrease in temperature. The susceptibility of species are also calculated, and almost all the species which are there in coral reef areas are affected. And these are the pictures taken after tsunami. This is the North Andaman area, one place called Lansar Island, very close to Burma. So we went there to see whether there is any, because the plate got uplifted. And these are the pictures taken. So once it got uplifted, all the shallow water coral, they all came to the surface. You can see here, this is a variety species. This is about 2 meters in height. So once it got uplifted, you can see here clearly how much devastation it is causing. I'm standing here. Above me, 1.5 meters is underwater. You see here? That means so much elevation, and all these corals are. You can see here clearly how much all died. You can see here how brutal the coral reef is. Above me, large chunk of coral reef was thrown onto the shore, on which three people are sitting here. That means so much sense of it. Then coming to extent, India stands. I told you more than 100 countries have got coral reefs, and India stands 10th in the world with 5,790 square kilometers. Some are good and many are very, very poor for Andaman. And the worst reefs are found in Gulf of Kutch. You have worst reefs and the best reefs are found in Andaman. More than 250 reefs are there, which actually are the best in our reefs. There are four major reef regions in India. Major reef. We have corals all in all the places actually, but majority of them are there in these four places. Two are close to the mainland and two islands. Lakshadweep on the west coast, and Andaman Nicobar on the east coast, and close to the mainland between Sri Lanka and Tamil Nadu, you have Gulf of Mannar and Parkway, and the northernmost reef region is the Gulf of Kutch Island. We have four major reef regions you see here. Here in Gujarat, we have 42 islands here with 35 coral reefs. And here, actually, we have very unique reefs called atoll reefs. And you are in Andaman, you have about 520 islands with coral reefs. In Gulf of Mannar, in Sri Lanka, we have about 21 islands. So this is our reef resources. And if you coming to the corals, not only in these four major reef regions you find corals, in all the places all along the coast, but they are not reforming. Some of them are solitary, and this coral is actually collected at 35-meter depth in Orissa, and this is a coral collected from Visakhapatnam. Only few patches you
వస్తే
have
వస్తే ఒక ఒక
here
ఒక
and there.
ఒక ఒక 10 నిమిషాల్లో వస్తాయి.
So India has made many laws
అక్కడ ఆయన
for
వర్క్
protecting
జరుగుతుంది
corals,
అందుకని ఒక పది
starting from
నిమిషాల్లో
1927 Indian Forest Act, this, that, everything they give. But more precise one is Wildlife Protection Act 1952. And this one we have amended in 2001 July. We brought them to Schedule 1 of Wildlife Protection Act 1970. So at that time, they're all brought to Schedule 1. Schedule 1 means it is equal to tiger. If you kill a coral, it is almost equal to killing a tiger. If you kill a one coral, you are equal to killing a tiger. They will not allow you, they will put you behind bars for accused. 1 lakh the punishment. The punishment fee for that. Okay, so much of the key builders are brought into Schedule 1. Coming to JSI's achievement, we have done many things. How we assess the health of the reef is very simple. We put a tape on the reef, and wherever the live corals are coming, live, dead, and other corals are coming, we will measure them and give the status of the health of the coral reef. But for large extensions like global warming, we use one thing called Mantato. Here also you can see there's a woman diving here. We note down and then do. And for minor things, we go for SWAT. These are the methods with which we assess the health of the reef. So JSI has done the fast report on bleaching is given by us from our office, Narabiology Regional Center by us. And after that, we have done surveys in all the reefs. I'm not going into details. This is a glimpse of what we have done. Andaman Nicobar, 1998 bleaching, that first global bleaching, they said almost corals are gone. 98% are gone. But in 2001, we made a survey and found that not even 2% is gone. Andaman Nicobar, deeper waters are very fine. The one who has told is seen only the shallow waters. Made such a statement. Gulf of Kutch, here you cannot swim and see because it's very turbid underwater. Only during few months it is fine. Otherwise, most of the time you have to either work in low tide or mid tide, not during high tide. Lakshadweep is the worst affected because that is in the open sea. So when 1998 bleaching happened, the warm waters entered Lakshadweep and 90% of life was totally gone. Slowly it is trying to coming up now. We have a project. Here you can see clearly the fish population is increasing here when the algae is coming down. What happens is when the corals die, immediately algae starts taking over. Fishes come in large proportions, the algae eating corals. So they also feed on them. Slowly the corals also come out. These are the studies we have done. The major initiative taken by India, the Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change is the parent body. They have taken many initiatives like coral reefs and mangroves are bought ecologically sensitive areas. And no mining is allowed in that area. Earlier, the people used to mine in coral reef areas for cement industry. And the exploitation activities in mangroves and coral reef areas are reduced now. We are not allowed to dispose of anything in those areas. And we are training people. We got trained by going to Australia. After coming back, we have trained people in India. So there has made a major role. And as I told you, there is amendment in the Wildlife Protection Act, and we have an authority for deciding whether the corals or any other animals are exported or not. The Biodiversity Authority of India. This is also formed. When you made a comparison of coral reef areas of India over few decades, with all our initiatives, we could able to grow corals. You can see Lakshadweep, it has gained, and Andaman Nicobar, it has gained. When we are feeling happy, this report was given by the Space Application Center. So what has started happening is, again, in 2010, there is a breach. So now Andaman is also affected. Lakshadweep is also affected. And third and recent one is a very large one, and that has affected the wonderfully managed Great Barrier Reef Australia. You can see here, this is commenced in 2014 to 17. 50% of the coral in Great Barrier Reef is affected. So that is also not fair. The government is actually calling all the coral reef areas as protected areas. They have protected areas in all the reef areas. And the animals are also helping in corals. You see here, when I was doing here, I heard a hissing noise. When I looked around, I saw these corals. They are coming away and then eating away all the algae which is available in that place, making way for coral larvae to settle down and then coral reproduction is another fascinating thing. See, all the corals spawn one time in a year. The larvae, the sperms and eggs are released into the water. External fertilization. Then a larva gets formed, it swims, settles out somewhere, and starts to grow. So that is how corals go. When there is algae here, they will not find any space to settle down. They will be in trouble. In spite of all this, government is protecting and animals are also helping. But why we are failing? You can see it here. When the stingrays are actually banned, immediately people started hunting these days at it. This is how people are doing it. So ultimately, what we are doing is, without awareness, we are causing damage to them because of the poorness. Also, fishermen are going and then hunting animals in the coral reef areas, fishes, collecting fishes, and middlemen means mainland people from the mainland. They go give the money in advance to the fishermen and take away the produce at a lesser price. The fishermen are poor, their poverty level will be the same, they will be exploiting from the best. Since we cannot catch all these people and put them in jail, so that is how corals go. Is there any issue? I'm hearing some voices.
Dear participants, kindly unmute. Kindly mute.
అది పెద్ద కాలేజే కానీ వాళ్ళకి ఇంట్రెస్ట్ లేదు కానీ గవర్నమెంట్
Padmaja, Padmaja, kindly,
We are causing damage to them because of the poorness. Also, fishermen are going and then hunting animals in the
kindly
coral reef
mute.
areas.
రాస్తేనే మేము వస్తున్నాం
And
Padmaja,
middlemen, means mainland people from the mainland, they go give the money in advance
గవర్నమెంట్
to the fishermen and take away the produce at a
Padmaja,
lesser
kindly
price.
mute.
So fishermen are poor, their poverty level will be the same.
ఓకే మేడం
They will be
బాయ్
exploiting from the best. Since we cannot. Okay, anyway, I'll just carry on.
శాంతి జోకేస్తున్నా
Okay.
అసలు శాంతికి ఎక్కడ
Padmaja, madam, kindly
ఇలా
mute.
చేసింది మేడం. ఆ,
Padmaja, madam, kindly mute your
ఎప్- ఆ, ఇప్పుడు 8:30
dear participants.
8:15 ఏమో అయినట్టుంది.
Kindly,
అప్పుడు ఇంకా
madam,
వంట చేయాల, ఒకసారి హోంవర్క్ ఇచ్చేస్తుంది.
kindly mute. Manaja, అవతల
అందరూ వచ్చారంట.
ఆన్సర్ చేయాలి.
If somebody have a phone number, please call her and then tell her. I think she's
Kindly,
not near the.
okay.
Yeah, now I think it is
No,
concluded.
no idea. She is a participant from other institute.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I think this is over. Anyway, we'll just continue. So we cannot
Okay,
catch
sir.
these people and put them because the fishermen are going and then
Padmaja,
exploiting.
kindly mute.
వెళ్ళిపోయాడు.
Okay, anyway, I'll just. There is weakness in law enforcement, and there are developmental activities in all the coral reef areas, like hotels, everything. But ultimately, what is happening is
Padmaja,
we
madam,
are cutting
kindly
down the
ఇలా
mute.
golden
చేసింది
egg laying
మేడం.
system. Okay, friends. There
Padmaja,
are.
madam,
I
kindly
made
mute your
some solution for that.
ఆ,
Formation of one
8:30
single authority like the Great Barrier Reef in our country also.
kindly,
అప్పుడు ఇంకా
madam.
వంట చేయాల,
And
ఒకసారి
the
హోంవర్క్
most important
ఇచ్చేస్తుంది.
thing is people should participate. The local community should participate. Then only we can achieve
అందరూ వచ్చారంట.
the success. I'll tell you one
Answer
example where we have done it. And without providing them alternative employment, you cannot ask them to stop fishing. So we have to provide them alternative employment. We have to create
No
awareness
idea.
to
She is a
everyone. Otherwise,
participant
we feel
from
like even
other
when we go
institute.
to any reef area, we feel like collecting something and keep them in our home. Then we have to develop capacity. Already we have done much of the capacity. Have trained more than 300 to 400 people in this managers and scientists. And the baseline information we have already created. And for all the reef regions which are not covered, also we have to create baseline information. And strict implementation process is very important. This is very difficult. So if you make it this way, this is how the coral shield will be. One marine protection authority with all the wings, law, surveillance, information, tourism, fisheries, research, monitoring, capacity building, and most importantly, community involvement. And without the involvement of community, we cannot achieve anything. The coral reefs will make us very rich if we really control them and then make them flourish. You see, within a year, we get about US dollar 375 billion. Imagine we are only 7 billion. And if we really take care of them, then we will be getting a lot of money out of them. For protecting them, we need not spend much money. Even if we spend 0.05% of the value, that is. In our country, tourism is in a very bad shape, not much developed. So if we can develop, we'll be getting a lot of. So this is one part of French. Unfortunately, this is, we have taken lost some time in the beginning. So this is a summary. Coral reefs are highly threatened animals. They are affected due to human interference and natural things also. Government has taken initiative, but only because of our involvement, this is what is happening. And without the involvement of local population, we cannot achieve any kind of success. So the suggestions which are given are there. This is only half part of what we are supposed to discuss. This is the end of the story, and the villain is none other than us. Okay, I think you must have seen. So what we have to do is the chat issue starts at home. There are many ways in which you can reduce your carbon footprint. Make your own plan to reduce the carbon footprint. That is how you can do. What I suggest is whenever I deliver lectures, everybody asks what are the suggestions you can do to us. So what I'm saying is you have your own plan for reducing the carbon footprint and ask somebody to create awareness. Tell at least 10 the people from your side, make a change, ask them to create awareness to another 10. So that is how we can propagate and do. And if you want to join whatever we are doing, we are all regions, we have people, we have activities. If you want to join, you can join. This is how it will happen. So I will take another 10 or 15 minutes only to complete what innovative things we have done. This is actually the main thing which we have to discuss. Okay, so the introduction is over. So United Nations has called it an innovation for a sustainable ocean 2 years back in 2021. And we have done many innovative things in that period. You can see in 2020 they are told that. And what remarkable things we have done. In all the coral reef areas, the branching corals are the dominant ones. And unfortunately, in Gulf of Kutch, they all vanished. They all died 10,000 years ago. So you can see here, this is Gulf of Kutch. In any reef area, these are all branching corals. All of them have gone totally in Gulf of Kutch. When you are walking on the island, you find dead fragments of coral. So they are all gone. So it was my dream to do something and then bring them back. It is the last world of Tagon corals. So in 2001, I undertook a survey there. I went there. But the way it happened to us in the morning, the same way, the first survey, there was an earthquake. More than 50,000 people died. I was there in the field. Fortunately, we just came out of the place where we slept, and that is the place where we slept actually collapsed. So I could not do anything. I had to come back. But I did not leave. I thought of going again in 2002. When I was about to go, there was Godra. Again, there is some obstacle. So I thought the Gujarati is asking me not to come there. But now I found that it is testing me whether I could able to go there and do things. I was so passionate that I wanted to see at least a living acropora underwater. So whenever we go for a survey after that, I surveyed almost for 10 years, up to 2011. Whenever we go on a survey, there are many this kind of plants which are there on both sides of because it is semi-arid place, Gujarat. You find these animals, a plant, which appear like acropora only, the same species, because they are the branching coral. So we used to say, yes, today we are going to see. But unfortunately, we could not find even a single living acropora underwater in those 10 years. So I got a project, fortunately, in 2011. What happened is the government wanted coastal management plans after the tsunami struck. They thought that we must have a coastal management plan. Otherwise, there is a lot of life lost and even the resources are also lost. So they gave money to Gujarat, West Bengal, and the Orissa. The Gujarat government has called me because I have made a lot of work there. I have chosen Gujarat just because that is the worst affected area. If you can develop something in that area, you can do wonders in other places. So I have chosen the difficult one, and we could able to. By the time we have taken up, two agencies tried and failed. Even then, we tried, and we could able to successfully restore species which have become extinct 10,000 years back. That is the first time in the world we have achieved that achievement. The coral restoration, it's a colony, it is not a single polyp. Okay. So if you break a piece of it, only 7 centimeters fragments we take, keep them in a nursery, grow them, and again put them in a place, but you have to control the threats which are there in the place. Then automatically the place gets restored. Again, it becomes a reef. So you take a piece, take it to the lab, nursery, then put it in the reef, it grows and becomes a good reef. But it's not so easy as we say. There are many methods like we have to do baseline survey, we have to do execution, long-term monitoring of them is very important. So we have done all those things. We have done the hydrography, bathymetry, sediment trade, water turbidity, whatever is there. We have collected the data, and we have chosen some areas which are very clear. And these are the three places we have selected, one in the open, another inside, this is a clear area, and another one is becoming muddy in that area. And we have taken experts from NIOT and IIT also to control the threats. The main threats are algae, then you have the invasive species, and you have boring sponges, everything. Then this is the most important thing. Have made some simple changes depending on that. Usually, what happens is if you want to restore, we put a platform like this, a bed kind of a structure underwater, and keep the coral. But in Gulf of Kutch, the tidal amplitude is 6 meters. That means during high tide, you have 6 meters of water. So if you put a bottom at the bottom, it goes 6 meters, and corals, as I told you, they require light. Then how can the coral survive? It's not possible. So what I have done is, depending on the site, I have changed the pattern of restoration. This is called as a coral tree. You can see here, it's a plastic tree. There is a boya on top. I fixed it, I made it in such a way that during high tide it goes up and during low tide it comes down. When it is going up, it takes the corals which are tied here, upside, and they will get light. Since they are suspended, there will not be any sediment falling on them. And in places where there is sediment, that there is not much of interferences, we have gone for this traditional one. And in places where there is water current, we have used this. These are all nothing but windows which we use in our villages, cement windows. So we tie corals to them and keep them against the current. So there will be good circulation, and there you go. So we have made site-specific strategy. Before going, I took the help of cardon whalers in identifying species which are useful. You cannot put alien species there. So I've gone for corals which are already existing there from the fossilized one. So another challenge is how to transport from such a long distance. People, those two failed just because they have chosen Lakshadweep, which is closer to them, but they have missed one important point. Lakshadweep is a very pristine environment. If you bring corals from there and put them in Gulf of Kutch, which is suffocating, means sediment with a lot of sediment there, you cannot see your own hand if you lower in Gulf of Kutch few centimeters. So waters are not very pristine there. So if you put corals from a pristine area like Lakshadweep and put them there, will they survive? They won't. Since I have dived in all the reef regions, I know some places in Tamil Nadu, because of some canal project, the places have become very turbid, worse than Gulf of Kutch. So I brought corals from there to Gulf of Kutch. The main other challenge which I faced is we have to bring corals from 2,060 kilometers away, and you cannot keep them in this kind of containers for a long time. So what are we going to do? They cannot survive. While bringing, you have to put ice inside. So what I have done, while walking in the Madurai airport, what I have seen is that they are using some kind of a silica gel, means ice gel. It will be in packets. If you put it in the freezer and take it out, it will not drip. So that kind of things I used because I got connectivity by flight. I wanted to bring them within 24 hours. So from the place where we have selected to Madurai Airport, 100 kilometers, from Madurai Airport to Chennai, Chennai to Mumbai, Mumbai to Rajkot, because Mumbai to Jamnagar also, places also we have flight, but not in the same day. So we have chosen 100 kilometers away, we have Rajkot. From Rajkot by road again, we have to bring them in a cool condition. So I have used this kind of a gel which helped in making the corals they kept them in very cool condition and we have successfully made it. But I'm telling you, the first day is not so happy day because after putting them in the chill environment during January, we dived underwater and we placed the corals. But within seconds, we found that the algae has come and then covered. But if you have passion and determination, you can achieve things. That is why after 4 days, you can see here, slowly they started coming out and slowly they started growing. We brought only 7 centimeter fragments. Slowly they have grown to this size, and now you have these branching corals in Gulf of Kutch after 10,000 years. And we have made some strategies for post-transplantation care also. The most important among them is creating awareness to the local people. When we are putting boyas, they are cutting and then taking away for getting 200 rupees. But we have told them and we made their village heads tell them that we are all doing it only for their sake. So we have given them in local language some pamphlets and we have trained the local people as well as the forest department in diving and in reef restoration also. So you can see here to make it sustainable. So the outcome is after 10,000 years, we could able to do it and 7 centimeter fragments which we brought have grown to 2 square feet diameter within 3 years. And we proved beyond doubt that nothing is impossible. We can bring species which have become extinct also back to life. You can see here one finger we have kept, see how much they have grown. I'll quickly show you and grow. Unfortunately, we lost time. So I'll quickly go and then try to finish off here. So this I'm not going to take much time. So you can see how they have grown, all of them. Just one fragment have grown to this size. In fact, something remarkable happened also. See, usually when there is some bleaching, the branching corals die fast, and the massive ones, border-like corals, they don't die fast. But here, even the massive ones got bleached during winter, but the branches which we have taken has survived and settled down very well because they were brought from a place where they were under stress. And one more important thing I just wanted to tell you here. After taking the branch, you have to keep them for some time to settle down and then bring. But we were not having time. See, they are in Schedule 1. So even though we are in Ministry of Environment Forest, and our department is also Ministry of Forest, and Gujarat is also in Ministry of Environment Forest, it took 1.5 years for us to get the permission from the Tamil Nadu government because they are also in forest, but they have taken so much care. I really loved it, the care they have taken. It's taken so much time to give us permission to bring the coral from Tamil Nadu. But in those places where I was not having much time because of this last time. So what I have chosen is, I have chosen the corals which are already broken. People go there, walk and go there to collect some algae. They sell it to Pepsi company. So already broken corals, they will try to survive, they will try to revive and come back. So those corals only I have chosen. They are called as opportunity species. Since we brought such kind of corals, they are very happy to live in Gulf of Kutch, and that is how we made it. The local species were also affected. They were also not growing well. It's not an alien. You can see here this is the window pan on which they have grown. We have kept only a small portion, a few 7 centimeter thing. If you see how it has totally covered the window pan. So local fish, again here another window pan you see. These are branching corals which have grown. So finally, our collaboration with the forest department has worked well and I have given the crown. They asked me to deliver the TED talk TED Talk or is given by the people who have done something remarkable. If you want to see this TED Talk, you can go to YouTube, type my name, and then type TED, then you will get it. We have not stopped with that. The forest department wanted to sustain it because there are a lot of threats in Gulf of Kutch. So to sustain whatever efforts we have taken in the first project, they asked me to do something else. Actually, this is Thomas Gorio. They have invented one method. He, along with another German engineer, they invented one method where if you give electricity, corals grow 6 to 20 times faster. Imagine, which grow only in 5 years, 6 years, will grow within 1 year. So like that, we tried funds for getting it almost 20 years, but we were not successful. Finally, because the help of our department and forest department, we have very good PCCF there, Shamal Tikadar. He sold his car and purchased the boat. He is such a passionate man. He used to die with us. And because of his intervention, we could be able to get some funds. And our dream has come true, both of us. In fact, he has trained me in Indonesia in 2000 in a place called Pemuteren, which is an excellent place. I'm going to speak about that also. The technology is you have to put a iron from like this, and there will be an anode and give power source to it. So slowly there will be calcium carbonate coating over the structure, and the energy corals get from this source of electricity helps them to grow very faster. For example, they spend some energy for growing secreting calcium carbonate, but that's already given by this structure and this method. So that energy, they use it for growth. Like the way we are doing aquaculture, the same thing is happening here. So this is Pemuteren. So we have done something remarkable. You can see here, this is an iron frame structure. The ones which we are using for constructing purposes. We give electricity to this, it will grow like that, and slowly the corals grew and other animals started coming. I am one among them. And this place is an excellent example for the local community involvement. That is the largest restored reef in the world. When we went there, their villager was in rags. He was almost like a beggar. But now they are rich just because they have restored their reefs and people started coming. Tourism, cottage, food for the tourists, diving facilities, everything is money. They earned money and they have all become rich. They made their own destiny. This is a great example for local community involved. That is the largest restored reef in the world. If you type Pemut in Indonesia, you'll get a lot of videos in that. I have a video, but I don't know whether we have time to show that. Anyway, I'll just show you a glimpse of it for the time being, just one few seconds, because you should not miss this. See, this is the structure. See how this has grown. You can, when we went there in 2000, you just see how it is. There is no coral at all.
It will come, miss. It will come, it will come.
Then we put this electrical connections. Now you see magically it is transformed to this. This structure, you see, same kind of structure you put in Mitapur now. We have done it in 2000. 2 years it was like this. And 2013, you see, it has almost become a big reef. Now our reef in Mitapur is also growing like that. See, not only the structures, you can use whatever waste is there. In fact, even the cycles, you can see here, this is Saraswati statue. They put same old cycles. They're using as the base. They're doing something interesting also. So they are making this kind of a structure, and that is lowered. Within the structure, they put the names of the people also. For example, imagine if I put the name of my wife and take her underwater and show that, see what I have done for you. You can imagine how she will treat me after that. Okay, so you can see here the names are seen here. So for doing it, they are getting money, and with that money, they are making more structures and become successful. You can make any kind of structure and then grow reefs. Okay, this is a great example of how we can attract people and do it. So fortunately, in 2000, I called Thomas Gorio, and we have organized the first workshop in this also. Now few people are there who are trained in this. You can see here Navy, Coast Guard, and Reliance. All the divers are helping us. We are putting the same kind of structure underwater and instructing people what to do underwater. The structure is laid. Myself and Thomas Gorio, we started tying corals. After that, our boys also tied corals, and we are in that. So we have done it, and you can see here the calcium carbonate coating on the iron structure, how corals are growing here. And now there are a lot of fishes coming, and then they are not allowing us to go there. They are the now actual owners of that area. So this is successful. So this biorock structure, you can see this Saraswati statue with lotus is here. By seeing our success, now Indian Oil Corporation Limited, they wanted to have pipelines in the sea, and there are corals in that line. They called us. Now I have got another 5-year project, and they have given me 5 crores to do this. We have gone to the field, and we have done intertidal thing is over. About 15 people, as I told you. Now they must have been coming out. Today is, yeah, they will be in the water only. They will be coming out of the water only after 3 or 4 hours. They are translocating corals there. So the success is mainly because of the unique team we have, the director and the Thomas Gorio, the forest department. One Dr. Chandran is one who is mainly responsible for supporting me there. And there are NGOs, local people also have joined. So friends, what we need is a big team with which we can really achieve things. But the most important thing is all of us should remember this is a great quote by the person who has invented the aqualung. He says it's an everlasting shame if we cannot keep the resources for our generations to come. He has told this in 1971. Already we have lost more than 50% of the forest. It's a real shame if we don't really protect them. The need of the hour is take this decade of ecological restoration very seriously. And in fact, I request the college administration also to start some courses in the ecological restoration of ecosystems. And there is an involvement from all of us. And seriously, you, mainly the women who can be the torchbearers in doing things. So arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. That is what Swami Vivekananda has told. And I also request you to do that. And remember, there is no existence without coexistence. Without animals, we are not there. Let the animals live, then only we can live. And take this great lady as an inspiration. She is our first woman director of Ch.S.D.St.Theresa in 100 years. So you can really achieve things if you really try hard. So this is my email address, simple, coral, satya@gmail.com. And my phone number also is very easy to note down. Otherwise, you can get it from Madhavi Madam. So friends, what I suggest is all the best. Because I don't know how many of you have seen the movie called 2012. If you really won't awake, that is going to be a reality. One way or other, it is going to happen. The doomsday is not far away. Only when we do something and protect all these ecosystems, we can protect our generation. Of course, in these mass extinctions, even if we are not there, the next man will come, but our generations will not be there. So please take it very seriously and do something. So I'm just telling you all the best and closing my session. I thank the organizers and the principal, everybody for giving me this opportunity. So whenever you want, you can talk to me, and you are the one who can do a lot of things better than what I have done so far. Thank you. Sorry, madam, slightly we have exceeded, but I felt very happy when you said that 2 hours we have, because I they require at least 2 hours to
Yes,
share,
yes,
and
sir.
in fact, 2 hours is not enough. But unfortunately, we lost some time. But I'll be happy if some questions are there from their end also.
Dear
Uh,
participants, you can clarify your doubts. Feel free to ask any question.
Feel free, because I'm telling you one thing honestly. Even when I'm in MSc, I was not knowing much about coral. Okay, so whatever you ask, you can ask very frankly. No problem. Don't think that it will be absurd or something like that. But I believe that your generations are far faster and knowledgeable than what we were earlier. So feel free to ask me questions.
Any doubts from participant side? Sir, thank you so much. The only thing I can say
Okay.
is you will be remembered forever, sir,
Thank you. Thank you, madam.
for your contributions to the restoration of corals. Dear sir, this is the third time you are sharing your experiences with students. You are so much associated with our institution and college. I am sure that all the participants gained a rich experience from your talk. Hearty congratulations to Ch.S.D.St.Theresa for all the notable studies. You have explained everything in detail. You have explained the increasing anthropogenic threats, effects of global warming, bleaching, and so on. Your talk reminds us of our responsibility towards nature. And you have rightly said, charity starts at home. It is rightly said, sir. Dear participants, can you clarify your doubts?
No issue if you don't have any doubts, or you can mail me. Otherwise,
You can
I have
type in
seen.
chat box.
You can type also the chat box. There are two things. One is either I have not conveyed the message properly, or you all must be feeling hungry.
Sir, your presentation is very clear, sir.
Okay, thank you. I was
Now
worried
coming
in the
to the
beginning.
next. Yes, sir. Gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. To end this program with gratitude to all of you, I request Dr. S. Pratima Kumari, Faculty, Department of Zoology, to propose vote of thanks.
A warm and cherished afternoon to one and all. It's my privilege to propose a vote of thanks and acknowledge the contribution of those who worked hard to make this program successful. Gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all others. On behalf of all of us, my sincere praise to Lord Almighty for blessing us abundantly in the completion of today's national seminar with good awareness of underworld aquatic water bodies. My profound thanks for all the benedictions showered by our most dedicated, disciplined, courageous, superior, and correspondent of our college, Reverend Dr. Sister Marietta Kudota, Harad Decorum. My wholehearted thanks to our most eminent, impactful, and multifaceted visionary principal of our college, Reverend Dr. Sister Marietta Di Mello, for being the backbone of today's plan of action. Please accept my deepest gratitude, Reverend Dr. Sister Shaurilu, Vice Principal of Degree College, PG Director, Coordinator of RUSA, for all the support rendered towards us. My wholehearted thanks goes to the most valued honorable resource person, Dr. C.S.St.Theresa Garu, eminent coral taxonomist, Zoological Survey of India, for taking us all to the wonderful world of coral, sharing the most valuable expedition info he acquired. My honest thanks to the intelligent and hardworking convener, Dr. R. Indira, head of the Department of Zoology, for her meticulous planning, execution of action plan for the smooth conduction of the program within the given time. Conduction of this webinar would be difficult without the support of our departmental members. My cordial thanks goes to them. My heartfelt thanks to our polymath audience for making today's session high-ended. My earnest thanks to Mr. Tommy and Mr. Sharif for good technical support extended continuously needed for the program. Once again, I thank one and all for sharing your valuable time and being with us all through this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Pratima, for proposing vote of thanks. As Helen Keller says, alone we can do so little. Together we can do so much. Let's all work together for sustainability of our ecosystems and pass on the legacy to our future generations. So there is no existence without coexistence. So all of us should remember this. Thank you, sir. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sir.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
And, yes,
Good
sir.
afternoon, ma'am.
Yes, yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Sorry to interrupt you. The thing is that the feedback link is not working. This is Krishna Kishore, head of the Department of Zoology, Narayana Educational Institutions, Hyderabad. Hello,
Okay, sir. We will send you.
ma'am.
Okay, okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Audible to you? Is my voice audible to
Phone
you?
number. Yes, yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. We will send you
Okay.
to your
Yeah. Just now I have
phone
just
numbers. Okay.
I have seen that
And
the feedback
your
form
phone
is
number,
not
sir?
working. Ma'am, the phone number is 994 994 6524. 994
Sir,
994
double nine six
double nine
five
four.
four two.
No, 6524.
6524 994 6524.
Sir, double nine four six five two four.
Exactly.
Okay, okay, sir. We will send, sir.
Yeah, it's already. I'm there in the other particular WhatsApp group. I'll tell you the group also. Just it's
Okay, sir. The
IRWM
groups I will send you, sir.
Kaikaluru. IRWM November 2021 Kaikaluru 2. Can you please
Okay,
send?
sir.
Just kindly look into
Okay,
that.
sir.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Still the time is there, sir. So by the
Sure.
end of this day, you can do.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, ma'am. It was a very wonderful session, ma'am.
Yes. But thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much.
మా అమ్మగారు ఉప్మా తింటారా
Satyanarayan, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
థ్యాంక్స్ మేడం థ్యాంక్ యూ
Nice presentation. Thank you.
Excuse
Thank
me,
you so
ma'am.
much.
Hello, ma'am.
కెన్ ఐ లాగ్ ఇట్ నౌ
Hello, ma'am.
So still
Yes.
some doubts are there, sir.
Ma'am,
Okay, yes, start.
ma'am, I am Dr. Swapna. I am Dr. Swapna, ma'am, from CRAB Women's
Swapna.
College, Eluru. First of all, I would like
Okay.
to extend my sincere and hearty congratulations and thanks for having organized a webinar on the burning issues the world is facing in the present times. And I also thank the expert resource person, Dr. Ch.S.D.St.Theresa garu, who enlightened and made us learn and understand many dimensions and aspects of the topic. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your valuable information, sir. And I also extend my sincere thanks to St. Theresa's College for Women and the HOD of the Zoology Department, Dr. Indra ma'am and Dr. Madhavi Rani ma'am. And I am student of Madhavi Rani ma'am and Indra ma'am, sir. Now I am, they both are inspiration for me. And I am doing well today because of the Madhavi Rani ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
In fact, Madhavi madam was inspiration to us also, even when we were studying.
Yeah, so when I'm studying intermediate, Madhuri Ramani ma'am used to come to my class when I'm studying. When I joined the degree, ma'am went to Teresa's college. I miss ma'am a lot.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir. Thank you for everything.
Thank you, sir.
అని చెప్పేసి అదే. ఆ, ఆ ఫొటోస్ అలా ఉంచు కలెక్ట్ చేసి ఇప్పుడు పంపించు. ఓకేరా తల్లి. మన group లో. ఇది ఇది ఎవరికైనా ఆన్లో ఉందా? చల్లి ఎంత సరే
Sir, shall we end the meeting?
Yeah, madam. Yes.